Good evening, I'm Brian Reagan. This is
Tyler Kelly.
And we welcome you to the 14th Psalm. And again, we're looking at bad guys tonight. And don't get much badder than this, Tyler.
The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek God. They have all turned aside. They have together become corrupt. There is none who does good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread and do not call on the Lord? There they are in great fear, for God is with the generation of the righteous. You shame the counsel of the poor, but the Lord is his refuge. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When the Lord brings back the captivity of his people, let Jacob rejoice and Israel be glad.
All right. So here we are. And, you know, I'm fine with this being a psalm probably written during the Babylonian captivity, because obviously the language, when the Lord restores the fortunes of his people, then Jacob will rejoice, Israel will be glad. So the fool who says in his heart there is no God, very much probably talking about the Babylonian or Medo-Persian. And some people mistakenly say, look, dude, they had gods, right? This has been one of the bones of contention with the God of the Bible versus everything else. True or false, Tyler? The early Christians were called atheists.
Did they even have the word atheist back then?
They did.
Oh, then I'm going to assume it's true.
Yeah. Why? Because the Christians denied the validity of the Greco-Roman gods. They said these are no gods. They said about the Egyptians, those are no gods. So in denying the gods, they were classed as without the gods. Atheos, right? Atheist, right? Without the gods. You know, for us, atheist means you deny the existence of God. Right? Because now we've been the top dog God people so long, right? We can change the definition of the word. Oh, wait, no, you're not supposed to do that. Just like the word agnostic. An agnostic means without definitive knowledge. Okay? They're just not sure. They don't know what to believe. So they are without knowledge. Well, the fool who says in his heart, there is no God. The Babylonians accepted all kinds of gods. The Medo-Persians accepted all kinds of gods. Until you run into a God that says, I'm the only God, and everything else is a lie. Then people are like, whoa. Because this God says, there's some stuff you do, there's some stuff you don't do. There's some stuff that's right, there's some stuff that's wrong, there's some stuff that's really wrong. And what's the number one reason? Well, okay. What are the top two reasons people have disdain for Christianity in the Bible, Tyler? What would be your thought on the top two reasons?
Personal responsibility.
Okay. And?
How would you word the question?
What would be the top two reasons that people discount Christianity or the religion of the Bible? The God of the Bible.
Sounds like fantasy.
Okay. So I got to vote for fantasy and the other personal accountability. So I'll go with you on personal accountability. Right? He has rights and wrongs. He has stuff you're expected to do, not to do. And he says, you know, I will hold you accountable ultimately for all this stuff. Okay? So that's problem number one, because what? No one wants to be held for any of their stuff. Now, they don't mind if everybody else is held accountable for all their stuff.
That's fine.
But they don't want to be held accountable for their own stuff. Okay, that's problem number one. Problem number two is false Christianity and false Christians. And this is, the American version of God is horrible. It's horrible. I mean, he's somewhere between Santa Claus and a surfer. You know, that's American. That's the concept of the American God, right? People read that. No, God's love, man. He's all love. It's love, man, because he's all love, because it's love. Right, yeah, that means absolutely nothing. But Brother Brian, but the Bible does say God is love, yes, 2 times. Same chapter, okay? But it says God's holy, like a lot more. It says God is righteous, a lot more. God is light. God is life. God is jealous. God's name is jealous. There's a lot of other stuff that typifies God beyond God is love. But you have a lot of Christians, what? They only want the God is love stuff. A lot of churches, hey, everybody's getting a free pass as long as they say a prayer. And even the agnostic and the atheist go, man, that's not a God. That's a joke. And so phony Christianity and phony Christians. And when I say phony Christians, I mean people who pretend. And Tyler, you know, Tyler knows this one. Just because you're nice doesn't mean you're a good Christian. And just because you're edgy and upset people doesn't mean you're not like Jesus. But in the American church of Surfer Santa God, you upset somebody, you're from the devil. Yeah, no. Light and dark don't go together. Life and death don't go together. There's the natural keys on a playboard, on a keyboard or on a piano. And then there's the sharp and flat keys. There's a reason why. One set are one color, one set are another color. And there's a reason why they're set off different from each other. Because why? They don't make the same sound. They don't go together. Contrary to the song that they all live in harmony. The principle is there. That's why we have denotations, markations on these things. The fool says. And what's the problem in the church? The church has adopted the mantra of the fool. Right? He's not paying attention. God's super indulgent. Right? And the children of the devil are eating up the bread, and the children of the righteous like bread. And the children of God are sitting there. You can be mad at the atheist or the agnostic, but you know where it started? It started in the church. How dare you say to my cousin that they're wrong? And then their cousin got bold in being wrong. And then when their kids didn't come to church, everybody goes, they were raised better than that. Yeah, but the only person who ever told them they were wrong, you chastised that person for telling them they were wrong. And now all their children and their grandchildren are going to hell. So let me ask you, on the side of blessing and cursing, in function, do you treat God as though he doesn't exist and have the same attitude as the foolish atheist? Because the other side of that coin is you're the person of Psalm 15 that we looked at this morning. Don't get upset at the children of the devil for being devilish when the children of God are just as devilish. Why would we expect any different? Other thoughts, my brother?
No, sir.
All right, with Adam Brian Reagan, this is
Tyler Kelly.
And we bid you good night.